All right, here we are, top of the chimney. That's the problem. See it right there? I fit a fingertip under there, right? It starts cracking. Here, let's see if I can get the... You see it starts cracking around the flue liner. Boom, boom, boom. All of that. It's just taking water in the top. So, you see all this stuff here? Like it's just destroying this cap, right? Now, we're going to leave, there's 4 courses of brick on this. We're going to leave these 2 courses, these bottom courses. We're going to remove everything, these 2 courses, and the top. We're going to remove all that. I'm going to brace this around with a 2x4 because that's going to be part of my concrete form. After we're done pouring the concrete and everything's locked in place, we're going to take all these joints out of this remaining brick and repoint it. All right, for making the chimney cap form, this is what I do. I take the raw measurements of the chimney, right? I mark them, you know, on my phone. I just take the tape measure up there. And then I do, you know, put your roof line there so you know what side, which side is which side, you know. Those measurements that are not circled are the raw measurements. I add 1.5 inches to each one of those, because that's the thickness of the 2x4, and I'll show you how to assemble it. All right, now this is the first band of the form. We're going to do another one on top of this, but I just want to show you. Okay, got all my measurements, the raw measurements up top, added 1.5 inches. Now I got to put them together, and I'm going to show you this. You can't just put 2 parallels down and then butt another board to the end, okay? It should only be 1 joint per side. So you see how I have this? You know, I'm going to screw in this way. Then I'm going to screw in this way. Screw in this way. Screw in this way, right? Okay, so the reason why I'm doing that is when you get up there, I'm going to put this first band on. When you get up there, if it's a little too tight, right? You could draw the screws out on any or all of the sides a little bit, get it over top, and then clamp it back in with the screw, right? If you do parallels, then 2 sides of them are stuck. That's it. That's as far as they're going to go. With this one, you can open up each one however you need to. All right, so this is why I said to line up the form the way I did down below, because if I need a little bit, if I need to open it up a little bit, because a lot of these aren't straight anymore, you know, you might need to open it up, might need to get a 1/4 inch. I got a little 1/2 inch there, and then I'll tighten it down after I'm done here, you know. All right, I'll tighten it back down and tighten it. Tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, tighten it, just keep going, you know. I'm not worried about that little crack. I could tighten it, but I'm not going to. It's fine. And then now I have the first band on there. For right now, we're going to lock all this brick below here so that it doesn't come out with all the vibration. All right, there we go. See, there's the form. So we hit it with the leaf blower, but you got your bump out, so this will overhang. This will overhang 1.5 inches when we're done. We're gonna pour it, leave it sit in the form for a couple days, and then take the forms off, and there's going to be a great cap here. You know, it's going to look attractive, it's going to be indestructible, right? But same deal, you know. Your first form, each piece you cut's going to be 1.5 inches longer than each side, and you're going to put that together. You're going to get it up here, put it on the band, and then you're going to do the same thing with this piece. It'll be 1.5 inches bigger than your total length of this band that you have on. So when you come over up here, you put this on, take a measurement, you know, and then what I'm going to do is I like to help it stick a little bit, so I'm going to use this concrete bonding agent. Just gonna pour it up on there, you know. Oh, don't be bashful. Pour it up on there. Let it tack up. Now for this one, I normally would cover stuff up below, but I don't care because I'm painting the whole chimney with the stucco paint, so you're not gonna see anything. But you just get it on there. Take some type of brush, brush it all around. Let it tack up for, you know, 10 minutes if it's in the sun, 20 minutes if it's not. Whatever, you'll feel it tacky. You'll feel it get tacky. And then you pour your concrete on there. Alright, something else I want to show you, getting started. You know, concrete, you want it like peanut butter. Don't make it too wet. It'll just start pouring right out of the edges. Plus, that makes your concrete weak. But you take your margin trowel, really press your edges down, you know, keep working them a little bit, right? Because what will end up happening is, you know, fluff it down like that, get it all packed in, because what will happen is you'll take your forms off and you'll have giant holes on the side or even small ones, and then you got to come up with plaster and dangle off the scaffold. It's no fun, you know. Get it like this. All right, you want to do that, and then you take your hammer, look, baby taps, all right, let it just pack in there. Don't go crazy, because if you knock the form down, all the concrete's going with it. It ain't gonna just stay up there. Yeah, you want to do that around all the edges, and then we're going to be ramping up. That's why I didn't take this off, because I'm going to be still getting more than an inch over top of that. So I left that part in. Yeah, run a crown up so you can make sure your water runs off good. The more the merrier. Whatever you can stand aesthetically, and you let it dry. All right, back to the chimney top. Let the concrete tighten up a little bit, but you know, if you look at that level, in a level plane, it needs to go up. Let the runoff, let the water runoff happen. But you know, same deal. You let it, as any other concrete, let it get a little tight, and then smooth it out. You know, smooth it out. Tighten up your edges there, so there's no crap hanging off. And boom, you got yourself a poured concrete cap. Couple days, you take the forms off, and I'll show you how that looks when I take the forms off. Shoot a little video of it.
You're good.
All right. Is my handsome face on there?
That it is.
It's on there with that angle?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
All right. So one thing that I may not have put in there is putting this top form on. I put a couple toes right in at the bottom level just to get it pinned to where I want it. So we're obviously taking this out now, but you know, I just did 2 and 2, you know, just 2 on opposing sides, on each opposing side, and you're okay. And if you don't know, use the torque bit. I'm telling you, Phillips slots should be illegal. Phillips, waste of time. These are the best. So anyways, take them off a piece at a time. Yeah, boom. Get that. Save the screws, they're expensive. See, we let this one go about a week, you know? You'll just work your way around the whole thing. Try not to hit Eric.
Try not to.
Tap on it.
Please don't.
Sometimes you need a hammer, you need to give it a little bit of a baby tap. Boom, comes off. You know, a little bit of stuff. Sometimes you're just gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to smear it a little bit, you know. Also, sometimes you're really high and you're never gonna see it, so you're like, all right, whatever. But we'll smear that when we come up and repoint the brick. We'll just smear it and fill them holes in. Let's see. This will be our one side. This is the one that you got to be careful. It's going to want to drop. And if it drops, that drops. That screw right there, this is a little important. If you're a little loose on one side when you're putting your first band on, you might have to just stick a screw in there, right? And then when it hits the chimney, it'll you can wind it out a little bit just to get a little tension on it, you know what I mean, so that it tightens your cap up. You could do that in various places if you need to. That one, I can just jump down and do it all on the roof, so it's a little easier. But if you got to do it one by one, you know, whatever, you're up there, you pick and choose. Yeah, so some of this stuff under here, right here, let's get a little shot up underneath. You got some of these crumbs and shit, right? Just buff them out real light with the grinder. Just knock them off, or you could, you know, get something in there and just rub them off, you know, some of them. All right, we're gonna treat this whole brick setup right here. So I'm just gonna give you a quick sample of what we're doing with that. What we'll do is grind out all the joints, and then we'll shoot them and fill them with a cake bag. All right. So we're at nice thick blade. Right, and we're going to grind all this stuff out. Now we're using a battery op grinder, so we might want to get the electric up here on this one, but whatever. You know you should be using safety glasses and a guard. I don't know what you're thinking. He sent it up to me. He sent it up to me like that.
Don't blame me.
See this? Brace your hand a little bit. So that's a quick sample. I'm obviously not going to sit here and grind all the joints in front of you, but just get them all. These right here, be careful you don't hit the cap. You might want to chisel them. You know, you just chisel them right out. Go right up in there, pop. They'll pop right out. Right? We're going to do that all the way around so we can clean this out and fill it right back in with good cement. We'll hose it out afterwards. You want to get all the dust out of there. Scratch any of the growth out of there with, you know, whatever you can find, a screwdriver, a slicker, whatever. And then all right, there we go. Poured concrete cap, repointed the brick. I'm gonna forego acid washing on this one because this brick is super porous. I don't want it holding any acid.